Hello and welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sam and today's video I'm going to be reviewing 8 new book releases, kind of like releases that are getting a lot of buzz right now. I am going to say if I sound a little nasally or winded, I'm not getting sick, okay? I'm not getting sick. I'm telling myself that, okay? I'm in denial. It's not happening. I've got too much stuff to do, okay? So we're gonna get into this. Please, if I'm breathing heavy, I am so sorry. But the first book that I am going to talk about is a thriller from none other than Miss Freida McFadden. This is The Tenant. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. She's a popcorn thriller author. I say this pretty much every time I talk about her books. They are just so easy to sink your teeth into, and this one was no different. I believe I listened to this in like a day. I just flew through this book. We are following Blake. Now, Blake his life is going pretty well for him right now. He has just gotten a promotion, making a lot of money. Him and his fiance bought this new brownstone, and he's just having, like, right now it's just a really good time in his life. But at the beginning of this book, he loses his job and things go downhill from there. He's having to take these temp jobs where he's basically just fetching coffee for people, and it's just really humiliating for him. And then money is super tight. His fiance, she does work, but she doesn't make enough to, pay the bills and rent and make ends meet. So they end up having to have a tenant come in, someone to rent a room from them. And this tenant that comes in, her interview is like so perfect. It's so good. And he's like, okay, I think I can kind of get used to this. But then things start getting really weird. She seemingly is doing things to sabotage him, and it's making him go crazy. I don't want to say anything else, obviously, because I can't spoil anything, but the turns that this book took, I was not expecting. And the very end of it, I was like, oh, okay. I did see someone's Goodreads review where they said that they hated the ending, like the last page. And I'm like, I thought that was brilliant. It was pretty brilliant. So if you want a good, twisty, just fun thriller, Freida's your girl. I did enjoy this one. I enjoyed it a lot. Then let's see, what book do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Be With Me by Gabrielle Sands. I think this book might be my new obsession because I read this book in one sitting. It is a mafia romance. I ended up giving this one 4.5 stars. It is just, it's so good. I was hesitant going in because it has been getting a lot of buzz, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I actually have a physical copy on the way to me. I think it's supposed to be here. I thought it was supposed to be here today, but I think it's coming tomorrow. So that's sad that I don't have it to hold up and show you how beautiful it is, but this book is so good. It's just, it's good. So we are following Mia, and I am going to butcher his name, Romalo. I'm gonna butcher that. And Mia is kind of this good girl. Not kind of. She is a good girl. She has a lot of expectations put on her because her father is running for mayor. And one of the things that he is campaigning on is that he is going to take down Romolo's family. They are a big mob family and big, crime family. And he has sort of a personal vendetta against them because his brother, so Mia's uncle, was shot and killed years and years and years ago because of Romolo's family. And so Mia and Romolo meet at a engagement party for her friend, and sparks are flying. And Mia's like, I have to get away from here. they cannot know who I am. I do not want this man to know who I am. But he's like, yeah, you're not getting away from me that easily. And then when he finds out who Mia is, like who her dad is, he is going to use that to his advantage and his father's, his family's advantage. But, things get twisted along the way. Things get very messy along the way. And I loved this mafia hero. He was protective. And he had a very vulnerable side to him that you don't really see a lot of mafia heroes have. They're, these big, tough men who kill and they're unapologetic about it. But he was different. And I really, really loved that. And I loved Mia so much. This book was so good. I could just sit and gush about it. Okay. It was spicy. It, had good angst. It was just so good. It was so good. So I did give this 4.5 stars. Not quite 5 stars, but still a really, really, really good book. Okay, now we're going to get into Can't Get Enough by Miss Kennedy Ryan. This is book 3 in her Skyland series. Now, I have not read book 2. I really need to go back and do that, but I've read book 1 and now I've read book 3. And this is Hendrix. This is her story. And we do meet her in book 1. She is kind of this like fun loving, auntie sort of type to the kids that are in at least book 1. And she is dealing with her mother, she's taking care of her mother who has dementia. And she's got a lot going on right now in her life. She's also a businesswoman. She works in the entertainment industry, and she meets Maverick one night at a party. She's dancing on a table and he's like, who is this beautiful creature? Maverick he just sold his app. I think it was an app for a sports company, like betting app. And he also is a single father to a daughter who has just graduated high school. But they learn at this party after both of them, sparks are flying. They're both very intrigued by each other. They learn that Maverick is actually dating Hendrix's new business partner. But what she doesn't know and what the public doesn't know is that relationship ended. It's just not been announced publicly yet. So it's a little messy and it's a little bit forbidden in the way that she's having feelings for her new business partner, her ex-boyfriend. So there's a lot going on, and both of them have just so much going on in their personal lives, and they're trying so hard to make time for each other. And they had such good chemistry. Now, I will say I gave this one 4 stars. Kennedy Ryan is a solid author. She's solid, but I miss her romance books, just her straight up romance books. She's definitely leaning more into the women's fiction genre now. And that's how, Before I Let Go read for me. And that's how this one read for me too. It's this is mainly Hendrix and her journey. And while I do love that, I just so miss her just romance books. So I do still highly recommend this one, but I just miss her romances. And maybe that's just me, but I want grip back. Okay. I want that Kennedy Ryan back. Okay. What do we want to go into next? Let's see. How about another thriller? This is a short little book. This is 1 in 4 by Lucinda Berry. In this book, we are following Dr. Laurel, who is a chemical dependency counselor. And she is working actually with this reality TV show. So they have previous child stars who are in, active addiction or active recovery. And they've put them all in a house and, they're airing it out for the world to see. And Dr. Laurel is their counselor, and she helps them through, the hard times and things like that. But at the beginning of this book, one of her patients and one of the reality stars has died. And who did it? Why did they do it? This one, I gave 3 stars. I did not love this one. I don't know. I feel like it kind of meandered a bit. I'm like, okay, this is a little repetitive. What are we doing? And then it took a really weird turn, probably about halfway through the book. And then, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I didn't love it. So maybe read at your own risk. If you like Lucinda Berry, also if you have Kindle Unlimited, this is free to read and listen. So you can listen to it super quickly because it's 235 pages. So really, really short book, but I just feel like it just didn't wow me. So 3 stars. This one is like, maybe I recommend. I don't know. The next book that I'm going to talk about is My Favorite Bad Decision by Elizabeth O'Rourke. This is, I think, the first book in a new series that she is doing. So in this book, we are following Kit and Miller. And the book opens up with Kit, and she is on a plane to go hike Mount Kilimanjaro. And she's going to be staying, well, what she thinks she's going to be staying in is like a 5-star hotel, but it's actually, tents along the way. And she's like, oh, what is going on? But also, her older sister's ex-boyfriend, Miller, is going on the same trip, on the exact same hike with her. So there's a lot of animosity between the two of them because Miller and Kit, they never got along when he was dating her sister, and they fought just all the time, just bickered back and forth. And she thinks that that's the reason why they broke up, and she feels a lot of guilt over that because her sister is still very much pining after him. But her sister is married, but she still is holding on to the relationship and holding on to what she thought the relationship was going to be like with Miller. And she just thinks that he's the one that got away. And so you have these two on this trip who have this history, and times are stressful anyway because they're literally hiking a mountain in, survival mode kind of ish. There's tour guides and things, but still they're roughing it. And he is very protective of her kind of from the beginning. He, makes sure that she's okay and that she's, has everything that she needs and she's as comfortable as she can be. And so she does start to see a different side of him, and she starts to develop some feelings for him. And that carries into, the real life when they get back home. And they try to stay away from each other, but they just simply, they can't stay away. And so this is Kit falling in love with her sister's ex-boyfriend. Now, this one I gave 3 stars. I think the beginning part of this honestly was a little boring. It felt like the same thing over and over and over because they were hiking this mountain, and I'm like, okay, I don't really care about this. But also, I think the fact that her sister, who they didn't even date for that long, honestly, and he ended up breaking up with her over text message, and so that's why there's a lot of feelings there over that as well. But it was never super serious, but yet her sister is still somehow just infatuated with him. And Kit was so worried about hurting her sister, and it's they dated for 2.5 seconds and she's married. What do you mean? So I just thought that plot point was kind of weak. So yeah, 3 stars for this one. I say maybe if you want an angsty book, but I don't know. For me, Elizabeth O'Rourke she's hit or miss, and this one was a miss. So that kind of sucks, but here we are. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Names by Florence Knapp. I think I'm saying that right. I know it's not Knapp, it's Knapp. So I still do not know where I sit with this book because I was so intrigued by the synopsis. So basically we are following Cora, who is in a very abusive marriage. Her husband is a general practitioner, and to their community and to everyone on the outside of their family, he is just this perfect well-loved man, but inside the home, he is a monster. And they have I believe she's a 9-year-old daughter, and she is pregnant with a boy. And her husband's name is Gordon, and Gordon wants this boy to be named after him. And Cora does not want that to be his name. And so you're following Cora and the boy and the daughter through these different like timelines and different scenarios based on what name she chooses for the baby. I feel like I wanted it to be more of the son's story and not necessarily the mother's story, because this was really kind of how it affected all of them and not just one of them, and the effects that being in an abusive relationship can have on you and can also have on your children, and then have on your children's relationships and how it will affect their lives. So I don't know, like, this was good and the writing was really good, and I think the way it was told was good, but it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I don't know, I'm a little disappointed, but I can still recognize that this was a good book. So I'm sitting between like 3.5, 4 stars on this one. So yeah, if you've read this book, let me know your thoughts on it, because I feel like I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about it. I know obviously it is a newer release, but yeah, I'm still like, I'm up in the air on it. So, and then these next two, I'm going to try to go through pretty quickly because I did do a reading vlog on these. So if you want like more in-depth thoughts, I will have that probably at the end of the video. It'll be like in the card. So they're both fantasy romances. And the first one we are going to talk about is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. So in this book, we are following Ren and Cross. Now this is a dystopian world where a biotoxin, I believe it's like 200 years before this book is taking place, a biotoxin has affected pretty much everything. And it's affected some people more so than others. And those people are called modifieds. And then the, normal, don't have any powers, they are called primes. Now, the modified, they are hunted, they are feared, they are said to be monsters. And so Ren has had to hide her powers for as long as she can remember, since they have developed. In the beginning of this book, she actually saves a boy from a wolf attack. And her shot is so good that it catches the eye of the Silver Elite, people in the army command. I don't remember what they call it in here, but she ends up having to go to this school, this Silver Elite, where she is going to train to be in the Silver Block, or if she can be in the Silver Elite, which is like the highest of the high, the, like badass people, okay? And that's where she meets Cross. Cross is actually training her, and I wouldn't say this is enemies to lovers. They banter back and forth, but it's kind of enemies because he's a prime and she's a modified, and they're just not supposed to like each other, but like he doesn't know that she's a modified. So yeah, it's also a little slow burn, but like it also comes out of nowhere, the romance. I don't know. I gave this, well, I think in my vlog I still didn't know what I wanted to rate it, but I think I'm going to land on a 3-star. It's a fun time, but this just did not wow me. This isn't the next best thing that everyone is, playing it out to be. It was fine. I am intrigued to see how it's going to go, so I probably will pick up the next book. We'll see. I wasn't the biggest fan of Fourth Wing either when it came out, and I've liked the other books in the series even better. So who knows? Maybe I'll end up liking it better as the series goes on. But yeah, I think this is just a good time. So if you're looking for a good fun time, read it, but like go into it with kind of low expectations. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. Now, in this book, we are following, what is her name? Odessa. And Odessa is the forgotten princess. Her father has sort of, he's going to marry her off to one of his commanders. She's not really been like taught a whole lot about the world and just not much in general. Her sister, however, has been groomed her entire life to marry off to a prince for, you know, like an alliance. And so the day has come when this prince is here to collect her sister. But when he gets there, he has his guardian with him, and the prince doesn't speak. But the guardian says, "We don't want her, we want you." And Odessa's like, "Me? Why do you want me? Like, what's going on here? I don't know what to do." But she handles it pretty well. She ends up, you know, they get married that day, and she goes off to his kingdom and her new life, and things go from there. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I think it was fun, but I do feel that the middle of the book was very slow. Very, very slow and repetitive. But the ending did make up for it, and I did really like the romance. The romance was really good. Slow burn, but it was good. So I'm definitely excited to see where this series is going to go, and I'm just excited that, you know, more romance authors are trying to branch out and write different things. So an exciting book, a beautiful book, stunning book. So yeah, this one I would recommend, but just know that that middle part is kind of a slog to get through. So yeah, that is all for this video. If you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts. Did you like them? What did you rate them? If you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a, what emoji? Leave me, what can we do here? Leave me just like a flower emoji in the comments down below. Also, I'm going to plug my Patreon once again. If you would like to go and subscribe to my Patreon, I will have the link down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.